Hey there! So, it's been a while since I recorded a vlog, but here I am in my favorite caves in Sedona. And I'll show you guys some stuff. Here's my dragon friend. Dragons have been huge lately, and considering that this video is about a dragon fire technique, I thought it was apt. And here's a brand new spiral that someone just drew in this cave. There are lots of more drawings here every time I come. Every now and then a lovely rainbow will show up, or some vines, or a bee. Okay, so this month in my Goddess Glow mentorship group, which is fan-freaking-tastic, I'm not saying that because of anything I do, I'm saying that because of the amazing women in there. We worked on shadow in February, and I got a technique that I want to publicly share on my YouTube channel, because I know that when I get a new energy technique method, a new energy working method, I like to share it publicly. I like to do free energy. And then I also maintain that the more I can tithe like that to my universe, the better my universe treats me. So it is not all altruistic, I will admit. Okay, so what to do when you are pissed off, not angry, not hurt, I mean, hurt's part of it, but you know what I mean, and not just mad, but pissed. You guys know there's a particular zappy feeling in that. And in the New Age, most people will tell you that is a less evolved emotion. Most people will tell you that emotion is not actually God. That emotion is away from God, as if anything could ever be away from God, because God is everything. And so it's kind of one of my little personal creeds to speak out against multidimensional racism and prejudice of paradigms. And so I don't believe that getting angry is less evolved, depending on what you do with that anger. It's never how you feel that's evolved or less evolved. It's what you do. So sometimes, inevitably, you're going to be pissed off. And believe me, I'm there this week. That's how I know this. So back to the technique. This is what you do. So you're feeling this anger within you. And this, the kind of anger I'm talking about, I'm sure you can do it with this anger, but specifically it's for a different type. It's not really the kind that you think about stuff and you get more and more and more worked up. This is the thing that's already pouring up and out of you, and you need to just get out. And every time you try to say, oh no, let me come back to love and light, let me blast it with violet flame, let me, do all the spiritual techniques I know, it doesn't work, because it's not for that. This is not what that anger is for. It's not to be squished down and put into a closet. It's the thing that changes you from one timeline to another. You need some fire in there. That's why destructive gods and goddesses are just a part of the ancient pantheons as creative ones. So this is what you do with that anger. I call it the dragon fire technique. Again, and it's because visions I've had that included dragons, and yes, there are many, and yes, I'm going to write about them, and yes, I'm going to get back on Starseed Wilding very soon, I hope. They've shown me that when you feel certain emotions, you use them to manifest your reality just as much as the more gentle type of emotion. So one time, after I was extremely heartbroken and I had to let go of an entire paradigm, an entire group of people several years ago, and this was after I first started meeting with dragons in my meditations, which I was brought to. They kind of came to me. I didn't really go searching like what happens with most of my multidimensional awakenings. Anyway, I had a vision where I was standing in a cavern, actually, and where there was my dragon friend with me, and all of my people and situations in my life standing around me that I had unhealthy attachments to. And in my meditation, they looked like cords going along the ground, big, ugly, like umbilical cord type energy cords going out to all these people, all these situations. And I was standing in the middle of this. So in the vision, I had this big jug, like a big water pouring jug, and I would hold it up, and my dragon friend would pour her plasma fire into it. And it wasn't like yellow burny fire, it was like white liquidy plasma. And she would fill my jug up, and then I would hold it and just pour it on those unhealthy connections and watch them sizzle away. And I had to decide if it was worth it to me. I know sometimes you guys don't want to sizzle a connection, but I will tell you two things. One, when you break an unhealthy connection and then you upgrade your universe, sometimes the people who you broke the unhealthy connections with come back or remain in a more healthy way. Two, anytime that has not happened in my life, I have never, ever, ever regretted it. Never. So it's scary, but you really can't lose. Okay, that's it. Next part. So that's just a vision, and then years later, this technique has come to me. That was maybe about 2-3 years ago that I had that other vision. Okay, so in this one, you let this fire come up, and as it's coming up within you, so this isn't exactly like archetypal with people around, this is something that goes on in your emotional and energetic body. So as this fire is coming up within you and just kind of seething, you guys know what I'm talking about when you're mad, when you're pissed, you know, when you would lash out. So, and by the way, I will say that lashing out, depending on how you do it, is not always a low vibrational thing. Sometimes anger is what is needed, and that's something I've learned in the shadow months too. So what you do is you withdraw from any of the situations that are making you feel that way. You just feel the emotion purely without it attached to any kind of explanation of why. You just let it exist. And then also make sure you really come back from the people who you might be feeling this toward, because I don't think that this is necessarily good to do toward a person. I wouldn't recommend it. You just want to do it with the energy, because what this anger is doing for you is it's telling you that there's a different spot on your path that you're supposed to be facing that you're not in. So it's like a constant like off note or singe or zap or something when you look the wrong way. So it's telling you, and it might have changed, it might have been the right way 3 weeks ago, and now you're changing and looking at a different perspective that's now the right one, because we live in the now and things keep moving, like it or not. So what you do is you allow this energy to come up, and then just anything that you no longer want in your reality, and don't name them one by one. Just set that intention that anything that's no longer needed, and also call in your guides and your angels and your spirit family helping you to do this, because a lot of times when we're in these emotions, sometimes you can be not sure where to direct stuff because it's just the feeling of it that's driving you, and that's okay. We are human. That's part of being human. It's not wrong. So, but we want to learn how to use it in a way that makes sense, that doesn't crash things in our reality that we have to fix later. So intend that it just go to whatever it is that this anger, your inner wisdom of emotional navigation, is trying to show you that you need to change, and just let it sizzle all those. And you don't even have to know what it is. In fact, it's better if you don't, is my opinion. So just let it sizzle them away. Just let them blast them away. Don't even worry about what it is. And every time you feel one of those waves of anger come up, it's kind of like grief. Grief is the same way. When you let waves of grief come up after a loved one dies, or after some real tragedy happens and you feel something ripped away from you, the grief comes up in waves. So you cry for a while and then you're spent, and you cry for a while and you're spent. Well, this is the anger, and it can go just a valuable place, because every time you burn something away, you're leaving space for new, even greater heights. And so you can always just say, this or better. If I have to release this, I'm wishing for something better. And also my favorite inner death affirmation is, whatever needs to die within me and around me, really, I let go with blessings and gratitude, and I will remain. So on that note, let me show you beautiful Sedona. It's springtime. New leaves are budding. I hope you're all doing very well. I hope you're enjoying your world. Yeah, that's all I have to say. So I will speak to you again very soon. Much love.